week 13. This is Tuesday, network security. Okay. We talked about the internet, web 1.0, and then we talked about HTML, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, Hypertext Markup Language, PHP, forms in the HTML, SQL databases, and we end up with this full stack representation of used out on the internet. And our point was people were more concerned about making everything work than necessarily the security. Virtualization came along. It's been around a long time, but we take advantage of memory and CPU. We have devices that can compute, all kinds of devices that can compute. We have computing in everything from our toasters or microwaves, Raspberry Pis, cars and tractors and trucks, and there's so many things. And in the world, bring your own device, bring your own app. It's so tempting to allow these things to be used, whether it's a small business or big business. Come up with the cloud idea, but virtualization, right, has caused us to be able to put things in the cloud. And so the point to be made is the landscape is constantly changing in terms of this change, how we manage security. The old way, perimeter, IPS, ISD, and having some kind of policies. Well, how do you keep these policies up to date when everything is changing so fast? And it's in the controls of so many people. And where are we putting the data? Is it on the cloud? Is it on the device? Is it somewhere in between? In order to manage this, we have to look at ways of using algorithms, either machine language, artificial intelligence, intelligent agents, other ways to be able to best secure such an environment. We talked just briefly semantic web, and I'm no expert on it at all, but the way I understand it, at least the best I can see, this data can be accessed by machines everywhere using artificial intelligence. We have all different kind of ways to connect. How we connect, it's just ubiquity. We have everything connected everywhere. So the concept is, like I gave the example, we're going to look up Mike Dirksen and embed it right in the web. The machine is going to be able to go and find more information about me, whether it goes to Wikipedia or where, and that the machines will bring all that information together rather than a human having to go search for it. So the data is going to become available to everybody everywhere. You might say, well, somebody goes, well, isn't that what Google's doing right now? Yeah, Facebook, Google, yeah, they're kind of doing that with themselves, but could the whole web be that way? Interesting. This is about when the power went out, FYI. So we talked about how I use Dropbox and how Zoom sends things to Pineapple. It's this idea you can write an app, an API to access something from another piece of software. How do we manage that? The security of that data moving so fluently from one device to another through apps, which we don't control necessarily who writes the apps. Apple tries to do a better job of doing that, and then the attempting to use software as a service. Just get the software you need out of the cloud. Okay, and then who's responsible for the data? Well, I always say initially the owner, or like I would say at NIAC, the CIO is ultimately responsible for the data. And if for some reason they decide to put it in the cloud, yeah, there should be different levels of security in the cloud, like right here. How much do your provider take care of compared to how much the owner is responsible for, and understanding that and then managing that in such a fluid society. Well, lights were out, so the students, they're going to look at the Palo Alto labs, and we want to finish those up by Thursday or Friday. This week we want to finish the gateway course. That's it.